Welcome to the Million Pound Mission Podcast. I'm your host, Adam Shively, the PhD, the previously heavy dude, and I'm on a 1 million pound mission. Now, I've personally lost over 100 pounds, and I've applied what I've learned from my own transformation journey to help my hometown clients lose over 35,000 pounds in just 5 years. Now I'm on a mission to produce over 1 million pounds of results by delivering my best weekly tips, motivation, inspirational stories, and transformation strategies so that you can gain clarity about what you need to do to reach your goals and give you the confidence to take action. The perfect time to start taking action is right now. So let's do this. This episode is sponsored by Four Sigmatic. I'm so excited to have them on board as a sponsor because I have been using their products and loving them for the past several months. I initially heard about their products on another podcast. I checked them out and just fell in love with the quality, the digestibility. My favorite things, I like to wake up in the morning and take a little bit of the cordyceps extract. I just dissolve it in some hot water, drink it like tea or hot coffee. And then about midday, I do some chaga. And chaga has been shown to give you a nice immune system boost. So this is a great time of year with flu season coming around. It's important to keep that immune system strong. And then every once in a while, I need a little bit of extra something to get me to sleep. Maybe I've had a really energized day. I've done a bunch of killer podcasts and I need to calm down a little bit. So I'll either do some reishi or I'll do a sleep stick pack and that gets the job done. So check out foursigmatic.com. That's FOURSIGMATIC.com. Foursigmatic.com. Use the promotion code MPM as in Million Pound Mission, MPM, and you're going to save 15%. Check them out. Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of the Million Pound Mission Podcast. It's your buddy Adam, the PhD, the previously heavy dude, and I am psyched for this episode. It's episode number 89, my top 6 keto mistakes to avoid. And I'm psyched about this topic because keto is such a big deal right now. It's so just on fire, and it's been on fire for the last year and a half, maybe 2 years. And I'm the type of person that I like to sit back and observe. As you guys know, I'm the danger zone solver guy. That's what I do. That's my bread and butter. So I sat back and I've just been observing this whole keto frenzy that's been happening. And I mainly watch how people are messing this up, which is really easy to do if you just go on like Facebook and Instagram and kind of follow a keto thread. And people just kind of blab about why it's so tough or why they're struggling with it. So it's easy to research that sort of thing. And I just noticed a few things where people are royally messing this up. And I think that we can do better. So today we're going to talk about my top 6 keto mistakes to avoid. And then hang on until the end because I've got a test group that I'm going to launch that is currently launching right now, actually. And if there are still spots available, you guys will have an opportunity to participate in that. So stay tuned for that, my friends. So with keto, it's something that it's what I consider to be a high-level focus nutritional plan. It's not like a free eating plan at all. There is work that needs to be done. But when you can get fat adapted, when you can get keto adapted, the ball is really in your court. You can just start making tiny little manipulations in your plan and see dramatic results. So I think it's worth the effort, right? So let's talk about some of the key mistakes that I see happening out there that we need to make sure that you guys aren't falling victim to. All right? So here we go. Mistake number 1. People rush into things and they just kind of dabble in keto. They don't do their research. They don't, have somebody walking them through it. They don't follow a set program or a protocol. They just kind of grab some stuff off Instagram, Facebook. Oh, this person said that. Google a little bit, and they kind of jump in. And if you don't totally understand what's going down and have a set game plan with your keto, you're setting yourself up for disaster. All right. And there's no dabbling with keto. I'll get into this later, but you are in or out. And you need to make sure that you are in ketosis because that's where the results happen. And if you're constantly bumping yourself out, you're actually setting yourself up for rapid body fat gain. And that is not what you want. I'm just guessing. Most of us are not into that sort of thing, but maybe you are. But, if not, then we don't want to dabble in keto. So that's the first huge mistake. People just rush into things without understanding and having a set game plan in place. The second thing, this is kind of funny, but it's legit. All right. It is legit. You can't just be motivated by bacon and cheese. People see the bacon and cheese thing and they're like, I'm in. I think a lot of people are like lifelong dieters and they have been told so many times, you can't have cheese, you can't have bacon, you can't have any dairy or any of that sort of thing. You can't eat fat. And then they see this as like, whoa, I can go crazy and all these things that people have been telling me that I can't have. And now I get to have them. So, and that's true. You can't have some bacon, you can't have some cheese. But if that's like the main motivator, that's not going to get you through. That why is not stronger than all the why nots. And when this starts to get tough and you are going to tend to crash and burn, again, that sets us up for rapid body fat gain. And that's not what we want. So you have to be motivated by more than just wanting to eat bacon and cheese all the time. All right. It's funny, but true. All right. Number 3, the third mistake I see people making a lot is that they tend to go from a point of negative momentum, like they're gaining weight and their health isn't going the way that they want, and then they try to jump right into keto. And I think that's a huge mistake because, again, keto, in my opinion, is a harder plan. It's a more discipline-oriented plan. There's a lot of thinking, a lot of planning, a lot of number crunching. And if you're already in negative momentum, I think you should have a phase where you do kind of a 2-week detox where you just clean eat for 2 weeks and you need to think about ramping down your carbs, eliminating sugar and processed foods because the worst possible scenario in keto is cheating all the time. And if you are already in a negative space, moving in the wrong direction, all those cravings are just thriving. They're running rampant in your system, in your mind. It's very easy. You're very low willpower when things aren't going right, correct? Just nod your head. That's all right. And so you don't want to jump into like this super strict, hard plan where there's very little room for error in keto. All right. So it's just not a good idea. So I prefer to have a 2-week ramp up buffer of, okay, let's stop the negative momentum first. Let's reduce some of the cravings. Let's throttle down our carbs. Let's get rid of the sugar and the processed food. That way, all those cravings are diminished. You've got some of your willpower back. You've got some of your momentum back. And now we can shift our mindset towards keto. All right, so that's number 3. I think we need a 2-week buffer where we have the sugar and carb detox and build up some willpower. Mistake number 4, huge. People are not weighing, measuring, and tracking their food. Especially that weighing and measuring, again, you need to be precise. You need to know what is going in your body and the specific ratios. And we're not going to know that by guesstimating, like, oh, that looks like about a tablespoon. Heap it on. It's famous with like the nut butters. It's like if it fits on a tablespoon, it's a tablespoon. That's like the magic calculation that we all get to. It fit on the tablespoon, therefore tablespoon. You need a food scale. You need to be weighing your chicken or whatever you're eating, your cheese, the bacon. We got to make precise measurements here, and you need to measure, you need to weigh, you need to track. Now, I'm talking about getting you into ketosis, establishing that, getting you fat adapted. It's going to take a lot of thinking and a lot of this process. Down the road, you're going to learn what your plate needs to look like. So at this point now, I've done this so much that I can put together a meal and I know that my ratio is going to be where they need to be. But I still track it because I like the info. But so down the road, you can get there, but you're just not there right now, most likely. And we need to get all of these habits ingrained so that it's smooth and it's easy and you're good to go. So that is mistake number 4, not weighing, not measuring, not tracking the food, trying to free eat keto. Again, they lean towards, well, it sounds like if I just eat bacon and cheese all the time, I'm in ketosis pretty well. And they're like, why am I just gaining body fat all the time? Because we don't know really the measurements, the ratios. Those are so important. So number 5, that kind of leads right into number 5, is that people aren't tracking their macronutrients, the protein, the carbs, the fats. You need specific ratios to maintain ketosis. And if you aren't tracking that, chances are you are not in ketosis. And this is a huge mistake that I made. I tried to develop a keto-based plan about a year ago, and my protein was way too high, like almost double what it should have been, and it was keeping me out of ketosis. So the plan didn't meet my expectations. Let's just put it that way. So understanding your macros and the ratios that they need to be in is huge. That's like the game with keto, is understanding those ratios. And you'll get different recommendations from different people, but usually it's in that, less than 5% carbs, in that 20-ish% protein, and usually around 75 or 80% fat. And, there are different ranges and things like that you'll hear from the experts, but that's a good estimate. And if you aren't hitting those, chances are, you're probably not in ketosis. You're not getting fat adapted, and the chances of you gaining body fat actually or not having optimal results are very high. All right. Number 6 out of my top 6 keto mistakes to avoid is that you can't turn this into the ketogenic diet, where again, you're just falling out of ketosis all the time because you are cheating all the time. And we make up these things that we tell ourselves like, well, if I can't have wine every once in a while, then it just doesn't fit my lifestyle. And that's okay. But you need to spend probably a couple of months getting yourself keto adapted, getting fat adapted. But again, I think that investment is worth it. And later on, you can learn how to deal with, okay, I took a cheat meal and here's how I get back into ketosis. But you have to establish it as the normal. You have to establish it, and teach your body that, like, hey, this is the new normal. We are fat adapted, and it'll be easier to pull back to that baseline. But you just can't mess with it in the initial, I think it's going to take you at least 8 weeks to come through, get fat adapted, and make that what the automatic zone is for your body. And then once we establish that, if you cheat every once in a while, then we can pull back to normal because the normal is keto adapted, right? But right now, your body doesn't know what's going on. As you go through the process, it's going to fight back and forth. It wants to be a sugar burner, right? If you every once in a while start giving it that, it's not going to adapt over and become fat adapted and use fat as fuel. So it's important to dig in, focus in, and just, get tough on this. Get tough on this, get focused, and make sure you're not cheating all the time. By cheating, I mean eating more carbs than you need to. All right, even like fruit, all right? Most of the time in most diets, fruit is cool. But with keto, I'm not eating any fruit, because I got, about 20 to 30 grams of carbs a day. And I'm getting that just from like accessory carbs like nuts and, half an avocado has like 9 grams of carbs in it. So, or vegetables. So, you have to be super carb conscious. So you could eat a bowl of fruit and that would kick you out of ketosis. So you need to know the rules of the game that you're playing by. You need to understand what's going down. And the name of the game is staying in ketosis and getting fat adapted, making that the new normal. And then we start to work on adapting this into more of a lifestyle where you can have a cheat every once in a while and you know exactly what to do to pull yourself back into ketosis. All right. So I mentioned at the beginning, like I said, I've been working on this. I've had several rough drafts of a keto plan for about a year and a half now. And I've got something that I'm very, very happy with, very, very pleased with. I've been testing it on myself. I've never lost body fat this fast. And my number 2 test subject is always my wife, and she's loving it. She's doing great with it. And, God love her. My wife tries hard, and it's hard living with like the fitness expert person, the coach. And it's hard for me to walk that line of being, I don't want to bother her too much, but we've got a nice little system. She's done a fantastic job so far. This is a plan that she has stuck to longer than anything else I've given her to test out, and she likes it. She feels good. So that's very encouraging to me. Now I need more test subjects. So what I'm looking to do is launch a 100-person test group. Now I will tell you this, it is not free because I've podcasted on this topic before. Free does not work. I give you all the info for free and you will half-ass it, maybe even just quarter-ass it. You won't be fully assing the effort. All right. That's what I'm trying to get to. All right. I just think I've just made up 3 words there. So I need you to have a little bit of skin in the game. I am going to give you 75% off of what I'm normally going to charge for this. All right. So it's going to be $97 to get in. You're going to get my 8-week Keto Done Right course. This is a 100-person test group. I'm going to make some tweaks based off of you guys' experience and your recommendations. It's going to have a full 8-week ramp up to get you into ketosis. I'm going to hold you by the hand and say, this is exactly how we avoid all these mistakes that I'm seeing. All right. I've got special apps that we're going to be using. I've got spreadsheets. All the numbers are laid out in front of you. The foods we're going to focus on, the foods we're going to avoid. I've got a 2-week buffer zone built in there, right? Like we aren't even going to be talking ketosis for the first 2 weeks. We're talking about carb detox, sugar detox, eating clean, getting rid of cravings, increasing our willpower. So we hit the ground running when we're ready to go keto, right? So I think it is really, really ideal for the person that is looking to learn how to get into ketosis and stay there, or somebody that's really struggled with keto, or maybe you've been fallen victim to some of these 6 mistakes that I've talked about here today. And, I think this plan is going to be ideal for you. And maybe not, maybe you're good to go. And that's fine too. Hopefully today's topic just helped you fine tune your keto ability a little bit. But if it is for you, check out my website. At the point that this releases, I'll already have registration open for 24 hours. So if we have spots available, you guys can jump in on it. If there's nothing on the website, there might be a note saying, hey, we're full. And if you've missed out, I'll have something that we'll re-release later on that you can get involved in. But the 75% discount is going to happen with this initial 100. If you want to get in on it, I would love for that. I'd love for you guys to experience kind of the next level of my coaching. And I don't sell a whole lot of stuff through the podcast. In fact, I haven't sold anything along quite a while. I've just been focused on building the audience. But I see such a need for this. And it's kind of my wheelhouse. Again, finding those danger zones, developing a plan to solve those danger zones, and then coaching you on that. That's what I do. That's my unique ability. Those are 3 of the things that I just feel I'm special at. So I couldn't not put this out there and do something to get you guys plugged in. So there you go. Just go to my website, transformationcoach.me. You should be able to find the information that you need to jump in the group. All right. So those are the top 6 keto mistakes to avoid. And regardless if you jump in the Keto Done Right plan or anything like that, if you're attempting to go keto, just think about those 6 mistakes. Maybe one of them has been impacting you, maybe more than one. But what can you do in the next 24 hours to kind of correct that, to make a correction and get moving in the right direction with your keto plan? All right, that's my challenge to you as always. And again, as always, I'm going to encourage you to get out there. I want you to own it every meal, every workout, every day. I will see you on the next episode. All right, I've got one quick question before you take off. Have you taken on my Subscribe for 5 challenge yet? If not, here's how it works. If I've been able to add any value to you with this episode or inspire you with the content, I want you to hit the subscribe button and give me 5 episodes. Listen to 5 episodes, and if you aren't inspired, then I get fired. All right, so you can unsubscribe. No harm, no foul, no hurt feelings by me. But I think that you're going to love the content. You're going to love the 3 shows per week that we're putting out there. So subscribe for 5, get inspired, get fired up, and get better results.